Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Fran, and today I would like to talk about how your 3Ds are always a reflection of your true inner state and how you can use it as feedback to shift to your desired reality. We will discuss how to stop reacting, hence reproducing more of what you currently have, and how to start receiving the messages of your physical reality in order to adjust your mental state. Remember these. Your 3D is always telling you where you are right now, or rather, where your mind was a little while back. As in your physical reality, there is a gestation period between the impregnation of the mind with the desired state and the birth of your wanted or desired reality in the physical realm. Also, you should remind yourself to be kind to your conscious mind, which doubts, demands scientific evidence for your outlandish claims, and basically throws its toys out of the proverbial pram when it doesn't get immediate rewards. Your logical mind isn't that logical after all. Most of the time, it acts like a spoiled brat. But you should still indulge it and be kind to it, as it is your spoiled brat. Now, it is not your fault. It's knee-jerk reactions were conditioned by others, albeit inadvertently and unwittingly. So be patient with yourself as you navigate through these teachings and learn to create your desired reality. And how are you supposed to learn it if not by making mistakes? It's no use you shouting at your conscious mind and trying to bend its will with force and coercion. It will just push back and resist the lesson that you're trying to teach it. Just the other day, my nephew taught me the most valuable lessons of all, just by imitating my rational mind. He'd received some crystals as a gift. Now he's obsessed with crystals and stones and their properties. In any case, instead of enjoying his new crystals, he used them to annoy his sister until she had had enough and confiscated them. Then he started hitting her, and when he hit her, she dropped the crystals and his new one fell and splintered. He then went into a rage. He started crying, shouting, and I told him to apologize to his sister if he wanted his crystals back, but he refused to do that. He left the house crying and screaming and left his stones behind. But he really wanted his crystals back. So now I was experiencing this strong conflict between his desire and his emotions. He came back, but still refusing to apologize. He tried to coerce his sister into handing over the crystals. When she wouldn't, he started playing the role of the victim, trying to elicit some sort of guilt out of us. He wanted us to feel sorry for him, completely ignoring the fact that he didn't need to do any of that. All he needed to do was apologize and be grateful for the gift that he had just received. He would get his stones back in no time. But he refused to apologize. His ego would not allow him to do so. He was feeling sorry for himself. He felt victimized. Yet he was the one who had started the whole thing in the first place by using his gift to hit his sister rather than being grateful for it. But he couldn't see it. Trapped in the vortex of his emotions, he felt that he had no control and that he was being punished by uncontrollable external events. Does this ring a bell? I could understand his feelings all too well, as I've often felt like that powerless victim in my own life. But the last thing I wanted was to reinforce in him that kind of belief. And also, he was making me really angry. My automatic reaction was to shout back, to punish him, and to take away from him the gift that I'd just given him. So I had to take a long, deep breath and then go within. I had to ask myself what kind of lesson he was trying to teach me. I then remembered that everyone is you pushed out. And then told him, all you need to do to have your crystals back is to apologize to your sister for hitting her and thanking her for returning the crystals. It's 2 words, and you can have what you want right here, right now. It's not difficult, but you simply have to let go of your pride and of the need to be right. You simply have to be grateful for what you have before you can receive it. So he replied, "No, you give me my stones first." Tears rolling down his cheeks as he felt like we were trying to break him or testing his strength, ganging up on him. I actually felt his emotions as if they were my own, because guess what? They were. That is exactly how I was feeling about life. What do you mean I need to be grateful before I see any evidence of my desired reality? What kind of bullshit is this? What kind of bully would try to bend my will by forcing me into submission? If you're a good universe, a kind universe, you first give me what I want and then I'll show you my appreciation. But the universe has no choice but to reflect back what you give out. Reality is a mirror. You scream, shout profanities, and act out, and your 3D has no choice but to show you a crazy ass person who acts like a spoiled brat. The universe is not out there, but in here. Everyone is you pushed out, whether we like it or not, whether we believe it or not. So I told my nephew, look, I know it feels like we're trying to bully you, to punish you, to gang up on you, but we're just trying to show you how life works. It reflects your behavior and your emotions. This is not just about your crystals, but everything in life. You have to feel that which you want to experience before life can give it to you. If you're angry, life will give you more reasons to be angry. If you complain, life will give you more reasons to complain. If you hate someone, life will hit you back. You always get what you give out, whether you realize this or not. So give what you want to receive. Feel already like you have what you want and desire. And when you get what you want, be grateful for it. Simple as that. And as I spoke to him, I realized that I wasn't teaching him a lesson at all. He was teaching me a lesson. I was trying to teach him something that I couldn't put into practice myself most of the time. As I realized the hypocrisy of my teachings, I ended my speech with, and now your auntie needs to learn the lesson that she's trying to teach you, and then we're done. And I laughed out loud. And as I spoke the last sentence, he smiled, turned to his sister and said, "I'm sorry, can I please have my crystals back?" As she handed the stones back to him immediately, he thanked her. I could have shouted at him, punished him, removed his stones, but all I needed to do was to look within and ask myself what part of me was producing his behavior in my reality. And as I acknowledged that his behavior was reflecting my current emotions, he immediately conformed. He had no choice but to stop misbehaving and reflecting my understanding, my insight right back at me. But this doesn't simply work with children. It works with everyone in our physical reality. They all reflect our inner self, our most profound beliefs. And also our feelings, our state of being, our emotions. We have a choice. We can wage war against our external reality and try to force and manipulate external events and circumstances, or we can go within and address the source of the problem. When you experience unwanted or unpleasant behavior from people in your reality, ask yourself, what belief within me is being reflected by them? What do I need to address within? As soon as you learn the lesson or hear the message, your reality will align. This doesn't need to be painful or a lengthy process. It will take as long as you decide it will take. There is no external reality, nor evil or adverse forces. There is only a mirror. If you don't like what you see out there, you change it from within. It's not difficult and it doesn't take any time at all, but it does require that you let go of your current state of mind. You cannot experience what you want unless you let go of what you don't want within yourself first. You cannot keep revisiting the past, reinforcing the unwanted or desired reality while moving into your new reality. The two reality cannot coexist. Simple as that. You must give up one in order to have the other. If you decide to embody a new state of being, then you have to totally forget about the old unwanted reality. In this physical reality, you can only ever embody one state at a time. That is why the illusion of separateness was created in the first place, so you could experience yourself from different points of view. Yet, there is no need to dwell in unwanted or unpleasant states. You can always shift to your desired reality by removing attention from the undesired and placing it on the desired outcome. It's not difficult, but it does require that we not become attached to the world of form. We must be like water, fluid and shapeless, and always flowing in the direction of least resistance. We can take the shape of anything we flow into without ever losing our fluidity. We can lose our identity without losing our essence. The only time we lose our ability to explore new realities is if we become crystallized, frozen in place by our attachment to a certain identity. Ice, water, and gas are the same thing with different degrees of freedom. The more you identify with your present reality, the more you become like ice, paralyzed and frozen. The more you stay open to different states, the more states you will be able to experience, the more freedom you will be enjoying by being fluid or like a gas with molecules not so tightly bound, less dense if you will. So let go of your attachment to your present unwanted reality. Become fluid so you can embody new states that you haven't experienced yet. Use your 3D as feedback and just flow into whatever state you prefer. It's not hard, but it does require you to surrender, to let go of your tight grip on your present reality, and then watch what happens. Relinquish the struggle and receive your gift, just like my nephew did. And as we know, whatever you resist persists. So stop focusing on your current problem and make yourself available to receive the solution. We are so used to thinking that giving in means being weak, that we have been so conditioned to fight, to struggle, to suffer, to endure pain, that we've totally lost our ability to trust, to surrender, and to receive. But life really doesn't have to be this hard. As long as you realize what you are creating by observing the 3D, you can adjust your course by simply entering new coordinates in your subconscious mind, and then allow the autopilot to take you to your new destination. When unwanted events and circumstances happen, instead of screaming and crying, ask yourself what thoughts, expectations, and beliefs you can adjust within. Let go of the old Newtonian paradigm according to which, and I quote, an object will be at rest unless a force acts on it. In other words, things are at rest unless we physically manipulate them by pushing or pulling them in this or that direction. Now, in 1915, Einstein changed all that by proving that absolute rest does not exist. Rather, observers are always moving with respect to each other. The other person's velocity and direction changes according to different observers from different frames of reference. But hear this, there is no preferential frame of reference. Every observer is absolutely right about the speed and velocity and direction of the other observer from his or her point of view. What decides the speed of motion of the other observer is our own speed and direction of travel. Does this begin to sound familiar? There is no absolute truth, only our own perspective. Our frame of reference, our individual point of view is what defines the reality that we look at. Now, quantum physics took this concept a step further by stating that when you look at something, the thing you look at changes. So please stop pulling and trying to physically manipulate your reality. Stop crying, begging, and hitting on your sister, and just receive whatever you have been observing in your mind's eye. That's all you need. That's all you need to do. So this is it for today. I intend that this content helps you surrender into your desired reality without delay, so that you can receive all the gifts that you deserve and desire. If you've come this far and found this content interesting and helpful, please remember to like, share and subscribe. In any case, thank you for listening. Have a wonderful, exciting, unpredictable, awakened life.